This new business model turned Namma Yatri into a 450 crore transportation giant with 6 crore rupees in annual revenue achieved in just the city of Bangalore. They are disrupting India's 54,000 crore ride-hailing market. But what's interesting is that they have done all of this in just 2 years by bringing a unique level of transparency between auto drivers and consumers, eliminating the middlemen and ensuring fair pricing for both sides. Just 10 years ago, when Uber, Ola did not exist, the drivers were directly in touch with their customers. It was a prime example of an efficient market. An efficient market is one where the sellers are directly transacting with the buyers without a middleman or broker. Companies like Ola and Uber made the market more inefficient by adding a complex layer. All Namma Yatri had to do was make it efficient again. Now, before we dig into the 3 core insights of how Namma Yatri got here, it's super important for you to understand the landscape of this 54,000 crore ride-hailing market of India. This market is growing rapidly at a CAGR of 9.1%. As of now, the major players in this market are Ola with 41% market share and Uber with 37%. But things are changing. We are seeing other small and local companies like Jugnu, Rapido and Namma Yatri capturing back the market shares from these two giants. Namma Yatri wasn't launched by a big transportation company or a group of flashy tech entrepreneurs. Instead, it was created by Juspay, a payment company in collaboration with Bengaluru's Auto Rickshaw Drivers Union. You see, it wasn't just passengers who were frustrated with high prices and unreliable services. Auto drivers had their own challenges too. They were charged a huge commission of around 30% of whatever they earned. Let's break this down. If an auto driver completes 10 rides per day with an average of 200 rupees per ride, this comes up to 2,000 per day or 60,000 per month. In this 60,000, they'll have to pay around 18,000 rupees to Ola or Uber just in commission. On top of it, if you are paying online, they'll get that amount after 2-3 weeks. In the meantime, they'll have to manage all the expenses like gas and maintenance from their own pocket. We had a situation where both customers and auto drivers were not happy. This is where Namma Yatri came to play and changed the whole game. In October 2022, Uber and Ola were banned in Bangalore for a day because the courts were trying to control their pricing. This happened after auto drivers went on a strike, protesting the high commissions the ride-hailing apps were charging. Namma Yatri leveraged this situation and launched their app to the public on November 1st, 2022. They allowed all auto drivers to join without having to deal with middlemen or pay high commissions. This attracted many drivers who were unhappy with Uber and Ola, and it caught the attention of customers who wanted a more fair and transparent service. Now, let's take a look at the insights that helped Namma Yatri grow. The first insight: simplified business model. Namma Yatri was founded by Vimal Kumar and Sheetal Lalwani, who are also the founders of the payment company Juspay. Now, if you are thinking, why would a payment company get into the ride-hailing business? The answer lies in something called ONDC, or Open Network for Digital Commerce. ONDC is a private non-profit company set up by the government of India with one goal in mind: to make online buying and selling more open and accessible for everyone. You can think of it like UPI, but for e-commerce. Just like how UPI allows you to transfer money between different banks using any payment app, ONDC wants to do something similar for online shopping. It is designed to let businesses and consumers connect directly, being tied down to middlemen like Amazon or Flipkart, whether it's groceries, clothes, or even services like transportation. ONDC is working to create a level playing field. So, Juspay saw an opportunity to solve a real problem using the ONDC framework. They knew the payment system and already had the tech. They used this knowledge to connect auto drivers and passengers directly without any middlemen. Now, Namma Yatri had two options: either follow the existing business models of Ola and Uber or come up with something entirely new. Vimal chose to take the second route by applying first principles approach. Now, what exactly is the first principles approach? It is a method of problem solving which keeps aside all the complications and assumptions to focus on the core issue. In businesses, it means breaking down a problem to its most basic elements and rebuilding a solution from the ground up. Instead of following how things have always been done, you start fresh and think through everything from scratch. So, what does a ride-hailing service really need to do? It needs to connect passengers with drivers quickly and fairly. That's it. All other layers of complexity, from surge pricing to huge commissions, were unnecessary complications that only made the system inefficient and unfair for both drivers and passengers. So Vimal Kumar came up with a revolutionary zero commission model. The idea behind this is quite simple. The platform wouldn't take any commission from drivers for the rides they complete. Instead of charging a percentage of every ride, Namma Yatri introduced a fixed subscription fee for drivers. For 25 rupees per day, a driver can complete unlimited rides, or if they complete fewer than 10 rides in a day, they pay just 3.5 rupees per ride. So no matter how many rides a driver does or how much they earn a day, they won't pay more than 35 rupees. This model is not only fair but gives drivers financial predictability. It removes the burden of high commissions and helps them to keep more of what they earn, making the platform a win-win for both drivers and passengers. After Namma Yatri, even Rapido, Ola and Uber adopted this model. Coming to our second insight, driver-centric approach. Before creating the app, the Juspay team spent time riding with auto rickshaw drivers. They went through the entire process from booking rides to seeing how drivers make their money. By doing this, they got a clear understanding of the issues drivers face, something other ride-hailing apps miss to do. The Juspay team also understood that people are key to making apps like this work. So their focus was not to put technology first, but to be driver first as platform. It's like every successful business in the world is based on a unique insight that nobody else has. Namma Yatri found this unique insight by spending time with auto drivers. They regularly invited drivers to their office to talk about the app's feature and any issues they were facing. In one of these discussions, the idea of a new feature called pickup fee came up, which is the fee that the drivers wanted to add to cover the distance they travel to pick up the customer for a trip. To maintain full transparency and rebuild trust with drivers, Juspay chose not to handle ride payments. On Namma Yatri, passengers pay drivers directly, either in cash or through UPI, ensuring a simple and direct process. And the trip fares are based on government stipulated prices. However, drivers can add an amount with a specific range to account for high traffic or bad weather. This approach gives drivers more control and prevents them from operating at low prices or losing customers to surge pricing. Namma Yatri also gamified the experience for drivers. The drivers internally have a leadership board based on the number of rides completed per day, with achievement badges, special status for top performers, which encourages drivers to drive more. And while most marketplaces prioritize the customer's narrative in conflicts, Namma Yatri makes sure to listen to the driver's perspective before making any decisions. The decision to penalize or block a driver from the network comes after carefully considering the situation. Action against the driver is only taken when it is ascertaining that the driver is at fault. But there's a downside to Namma Yatri's driver-centric approach. The customer support system of the app is still evolving. While cutting out the middleman has its own benefits, it also means there's no direct and real-time communication between the company and passengers. Currently, the app lacks in-app features for customers to handle emergencies or file instant complaints. Since Namma Yatri sees itself as just a platform connecting drivers and passengers, it has adopted a low-touch support model. Unlike other ride-hailing apps, complaints are handled through email or helpline numbers, and in emergencies, passengers are directed to contact police helplines. With no central authority monitoring rides, there have been reports on social media about negative incidents during Namma Yatri trips. Although the company actively monitors these reports and reaches out to affected passengers, the level of their involvement and how effectively these issues are resolved remains somewhat unclear. And the last insight, marketing and local adaptation. In a world where companies are spending millions on flashy ads and celebrity endorsements, Namma Yatri took a more organic approach. They relied on good old word of mouth, both from satisfied passengers and happy drivers. They turned their drivers into brand ambassadors and introduced a driver referral program, allowing drivers to promote their services directly to customers. Every auto is equipped with a QR code, which passengers can scan to download the app or book future rides. One of the smartest moves Namma Yatri made was to localize their strategy. Instead of trying to be a one-size-fits-all solution for the entire country, they focused only on Bangalore. They took the time to understand the city's unique traffic patterns, the most popular routes, and the local culture. Even the name of the app, Namma Yatri, which means our ride in Kannada, reflects this local focus. And they did not stop there. Namma Yatri has expanded to other cities as well with the same approach. It is called Yatri in Delhi and Kochi, Mana Yatri in Hyderabad, and Yatri Sathi in Kolkata. What do you think about Namma Yatri's approach? Do you think this model could work in your city? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into Namma Yatri's business model, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful business breakdowns.